Hey, what's up guys? This is Black Rose Salary and welcome to our live stream today. So guys, today we are going to look at what's happening to gold today. Remember last week, was it last week but one, we had an overview of what might happen to gold, and I was analyzing. This is just the drawing as it was before, so I'm just doing a recap of what might have happened. All these lines that we had over here, all these lines are some of the lines that we had drawn in our previous video. Let me just see. Yeah, this video, guys, you can see all these lines and everything. So this is one of the lines that we drawn when we were analyzing gold before. So today we want to see like what happened if gold really played out as we had perceived that it was going to play out. So let me just give you a recap. I think we talked about these zones over here. Most probably we thought that this was going to come down to this level, but it not dropping to this level doesn't really mean that it did not play out according to how we had expected it to play out, because these zones are a bit close. So we saw some pullback from this zone over here. Let me see if you can just have a small line, sorry, small, yeah, I'll just have these over here, because guys, one thing about the market is that you have to take note of every point where you feel like there is a pullback, what really triggered the market to move in a certain direction. Because clearly we had this clear notion that the market was going to play around these zones before actually dropping. So the question on today's analysis, on today's or maybe this week's gold analysis is, what is going to happen to gold? Is it going to sell or is it going to buy? So this is one of the things that most people are asking themselves. I remember by Friday gold was around this zone over here, but then we've seen some strong sell going downwards. We've seen quite some sell. Let me just zoom these out so that we can see. So gold was we stopped on Friday. Yeah, the market closed when gold was in the first red candlestick. I'm using a day time frame, so I'm talking about the days time frame. So this 1 day candlestick, so this is what we saw. And today when we woke up, was it 1 day's candlestick? I'm using a day's time frame. When is today? Today is on a Monday. I think it was around this zone over here. So yeah, this one. So guys, what's happening is that we can actually see that the market, we don't know if it's going to play as power prediction. If at all you forgot what we predicted, let me just play the video, what we spoke about and what we said on that day. I think, is it on mute? No. Let's see. What should I use now? If I use a brush, let's see. I don't know if we can. No, the color is a little bit darker. And then so this is just a preview of what we had the previous this work. So we'll be able to see like some drop to this level over here. Once that happens, we might see like some resistance, like some pullback to this level over here. If it doesn't really break out going upwards, then we'll be looking for like some further down movement, but it can't go up to this level. I don't think so at the moment, unless there is like a lot of unless there is like a lot of buyers coming in, and not just buyers basically, but a lot of not just retail buyers. Has been this zone around 60 is just what we anticipate that might happen in the market. And yeah, so if this happens, basically, yeah, we are still drawing. It might come back to this zone over here, see some resistance. You know, the market's not always perfect. We'll be able to see the market play, and then goes down. But guys, when it gets to this point over here, then we start seeing it play. We might also have like a ranging market. You have to have like a prediction of what might happen in the market, because gold might drop to this level over here. Okay, so guys, that is what we had. That is just a recap of what happened last week, what we had analyzed about gold. And guys, as you can see, when I was analyzing that chart, we were on this zone, and we could see like this played out so perfectly to this zone, and we can see like a bit of a drop. So we are not sure at the moment if it's going to sell as per my previous prediction of what might happen in with gold. So right now what I can say is that if it plays out as per my prediction, one of the zones that I'm going to look out for or watch out for, because we are in a situation whereby we are going to expect gold to move in two directions. Remember, most people are predicting that gold might, remember this thing came up, yeah, gold came up to like 1727, and we cannot assume that around this zone, this is yeah, 1760 is one of the zones that has been interesting, or 176, 1776, 1760, 1754, 1759. Those are some of the zones that are really interesting, and we can see like maybe gold might go up to that level around 1754, 50, around this zone, yeah, 58, 59, around 1776, this zone over here, before we see another drop. But right now what we can say is that there was some liquidity that was left around this zone, and we saw what happened to the market. The market came back and tested that level, and we saw some strong resistance over some strong support over there, and now we are still on some sell, like we are selling. So one of the zones that I'm going to watch out for, being that we saw all these kind of movement, guys, remember these candlesticks, these, I don't know, how do they call them, engulfing, these huge candlesticks, they are huge. I'm just using like a platform that shows them in like a smaller dimension, but if you look at them in different platforms, maybe you might see the strength of the buyers or the sellers. So we can see like over here, this candlestick is a bit huge. This kind of movement is not something that we can call on, like I'm used to retail traders making these small kind of movements, because this is a day time frame, and we could see like this kind of movement in a day's time frame. So let's see what's going to happen in the market when this the sell position, hopefully I'm hoping that this is going to sell down to this level over here, which is around 1661. So literally, if I were trading gold, I will be looking for maybe a sell to around this zone over here. Once I get to this zone over here, I'll be cautious and wait to see what's going to happen in the market. We might see like some pullback going up. The market might range from this point onwards, or it might drop to this level over here. And if it drops to this level over here, it might drop further to this level, or we will be able to see a ranging market. Guys, remember last time when I was analyzing this chart, I was talking about ranging market, the possibility or probability of the market being in a ranging market. So right now what we're waiting for is to see the strength of the US dollar. If the US dollar index is going to be stronger, then we'll be able to have some more sales on gold. But if the US dollar becomes weaker at any point, anything might happen. Remember, we have some fundamental news that are going to come out. They always come out even during the weekends, during the weekdays. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen. I haven't really checked. Let me just check what's going to happen today. If we have any at the moment, do we really have a news that might affect? Let me put this in my time zone. This is not my time zone. Where is Nairobi? Nairobi. That is where I'm from, proud Kenyan. Yeah, so this is what we have generally. So basically today we don't have any news that might cause a huge impact on the US dollar. Basically you can see like the star, if the star is one, that shows like there will be like a low volatility expected. If there were like 2, maybe that shows like it's at the center, intermediate. And if it shows like 3, then we would be expecting like a strong move, like a strong volatility based on that news. So you can see this is how they wrote it: the low volatility expected, moderate volatility expected, high volatility expected. So at the moment, today basically I don't see us having any news that might really affect the market or be that dynamic. So we're just going to keep on analyzing our charts by ourselves. So let's see how this is going to play out. Remember, the market is never perfect. It's not a perfect. Just know that for me, one thing I know, trading on a 1 day's time frame, that this is going to drop. We might see it play along before actually dropping, but if I took a sell position around this zone over here, I'll still be holding on to my sales unless I see a pattern that clearly shows me that there are no more sellers in the market, so or maybe buyers are becoming stronger in the market. Then maybe now I can consider getting out of the market. And right now, guys, you can see like this candlestick over here was really strong. This one is a bit small, but that doesn't really matter. You can see what happened here. The sellers are really strong. Then we could see these small candlesticks over here, but then we was still on a sell. So I won't really, let me just wait and see what's going to happen in the market. But for me, based on these candlestick over here, I'm expecting maybe some sell. Unless something really happens, then we'll be able to maybe take a buy position. And for me right now, buys are going to be a bit I'll be taking, if I see an opportunity to buy gold, I'll buy, but for a short time before actually. But for me right now, I'm still strong on sell. That is just my perception, what I'm going to take. And remember, guys, when you're trading, remember, not everything, this is not a signal. I'm not giving you any signal, but remember, whenever you're trading, if you're going to take a sell position, remember to use your stop losses and take profits. If you're going to use like if you're going to take a buy position in the market, use your stop losses and your take profits, because literally I am not that perfect. Like nobody's like 100% perfect with the analysis. What you can do is that like we make good use of the small opportunities that we see in the market, and we enter the market, but then we trade cautiously as well. Not really cautiously, but we use our stop losses, because this is a risk. It's either you take it or you just take it. I don't know any other term for taking a risk. It's either you're taking it or you're taking it. So I'm I'm going to check, like literally I'm on a sale, so I'm going to see how this is gonna play out. So if you're like a day trader, it depends. If you like trading on a 5 minutes time frame, maybe you should, let me see, I think I had this one. Let me look at it in 5 minutes time frame. Like this is another one. I always draw these in different themes. So oh shoot, this let me see how this is going to come out. Just want to look at it in 5 minutes time frame so that we can have like an idea of what might happen in the market. This is Euro GPY, and one thing I noticed, like from last week to this week, like whatever is happening to gold is actually what's happening to Euro GPY. So when I opened my charts this morning and I could see like this downward movement, then I was like, okay, this is still selling. But guys, you can see like in overall, if you're looking at Euro GPY, the overall, like the overall view, the entire view still shows that they are in a bullish movement, but then it's selling. The same applies to gold. Gold, when you look at it in a huge time frame, it shows like gold is still bullish, but then we were that close to getting to a double top with some levels, or we were close to getting a double top to double or triple top to some of the zones that were tested within like 3 to 5 to 6 years ago. So you can always analyzing charts is something that is really fun. You can always play around with these. This is like a day's time frame, go to 1 month, go to 1 year, just a range, just look at what's happening in the market. So let me see if I can have an overview of what's happening to 5 minutes time frame. You can always trade if you don't like holding your trades for so long. You can always trade for like 5 minutes or so. Whenever I don't want to hold my trades for so long, I always try to use this 5 minutes time frame. You can still see like in 5 minutes time frame we had like a strong sell for quite some time now, and we could see like there is some sort of resistance over here and quite of a pullback to this level. So the market might start changing to this zone in 5 minutes time frame. You can just draw like the same thing you do in a 1 hour's time frame is the same thing that you can do in a 5 minutes time frame. So it's there is no formula actually. It's just you trying to imply the same things that you do with a huge time frame is just the same thing that you do with a small time frame. So guys, you can see these. So if I'm to trade like in a 5 minutes time frame, I will be looking at or maybe watching out to what is literally going to happen in these zones over here. Maybe expect some ranging market before any breakout, either going downwards or maybe going upwards. So this is a 5 minutes time frame. You can always do this, always just try to analyze your charts the same way you analyze them in a 1 hour's in 1 day's time frame, 4 hours time frame, things like that. That's the same way you can analyze it in 5 minutes time frame. I prefer trading in 5 minutes. That's like the smallest time frame that I can use to trade. And guys, you can see what's happening over here. This is just these are some of the things that really impress me whenever we are trading. You can do this in 5 minutes time frame. And guys, I'm zooming and you can see like this 5 minutes time frame. If you took like a sell over here and you saw like some resistance over here, but this one will have been tricky to most of the people because the candlestick over here was a bit strong, so it was going to confuse most people. You know, most people were hesitant when trying to enter this market. So you could have entered the market, taken a buy position over here, maybe waited for it to get to this point. This one was 1685 to 16.89. That is quite some profits. And then take a sell position to this point over here, and then to this point again. That is also another profit. So if you're that good in trading, where you can like take buys to this point, sells to this point, if this is going to range for quite some time, trust me, you're going to make a lot of profits. Trust me, there is no easy market to trade in, like a ranging market. The only thing that is always stressful is we don't know like if it's going to break out from that zones, the 2 level zones, or if it's still going to play the ranging market for quite some time. But then if this is the deal, this is what's happening, if it's going to range for quite some time, you might take that opportunity and make a lot of profits. And when the market is ranging, that is like the best time for you to use like the moving average to help you know when to exit that market and when to enter again. Trust me, using a moving average in a ranging market is always one of the sweetest things that you can do. And you can use that in a USD, CAD, you can use it in the US, the currencies paired with the US currencies. Yeah, so that is one thing that you can do. So if you are like a new be in this market and you don't know like how to understand the market, how to maneuver the market, remember the people just know how to analyze the charts. They enter the market for quite some time, like a long period. The people just trade like they enter the market and just wait for it like for like 5 years or something of sort, or even 1 year, or even six months, something of sort. But there are people like us who just enter the market and just trade maybe for a few hours, a few minutes, and then, or maybe a day or so. Maybe the longest that you can hold is like a week. The people like us, I think the longest that I've held like a trade is a week, and that was Tesla. Yeah, that was a stock. I was trading Tesla and I entered the market. It was a buy. The market was on a buy. It was bullish, and I took a buy position quite so like it was a perfect entry, and the estimation was that it was going to go higher and higher, and trust me, it did do that. And that was one of the best things. I did hold like my trade for almost like, was it 2 weeks or a week, something of the sort, before a certain pullback. And guys, that was one of the best thing. I think other than trading gold, I enjoy trading Tesla. I enjoy trading Facebook stock, literally. So you can also trade that. So yeah, so where were we? So here, so let's see if this is going to play out as my previous prediction, where we predicted that these will come to these zones over here, and we'll be able to see like some movements maybe to these lower position. Remember, if I were trading, you can see like we have these green the trend lines with algo, which also plays perfectly for me. Like if these candlesticks were to break above this green line over here, then I will be like, oh guys, we are buying. But we can still see that we are still under the red line, which clearly tells us that we're still on a sell. So at this point over here, this was one of the points where they were expecting, maybe if this was going to come up to this point, we would expect maybe a two-way. Maybe the market would have gone above it or maybe down. But then we can see like this played out so perfectly. So far so good. And yeah, I think whoever was in this market really is enjoying it. These were some of the predictions, and I don't think if I'm the only one who is analyzing this on a sell. I can't really know what other traders are saying or maybe analyzing about gold, but I'll try and watch them out and see if we are in the right direction. But for me, I think that we are on a sell still. Until proven otherwise, I'll still be strong on sales and see if we'll be able to maximize our profits. Guys, remember, if you have ever had me talk about my trading experience and some of my best positions in the market. My best positions in the market is taking a buy position, like this one over here to this. I always find it so easy for me to like take position, like buying positions in the market, as compared to sell positions. I have that difficulty, like whenever I'm trading and I want to take like a sell position, if I don't like see it like this, I'll have to turn my computer or maybe my phone upside downwards before I can actually take that, and that is when the market is on a downward trend. But if it is on a ranging market, it's always so easy for me to take like either buy or a sell position. That is so easy. But taking a sell position on a ranging market, it's always a bit tricky for me. But I still do, like I take the sell positions, because the reason why I don't really like taking sell positions in the market is that my entry is not as perfect as in my buy positions. Like I'll have to wait for quite some time to have like a clear view that the market is literally selling. What are you waiting for? And then I'll be like, okay, let me enter the market, let me take that sell position. And so yes, I'll still make profits, but it won't be as much as like in my buy positions, because trust me, if I were to take like a buy position in this one, I would have entered around this zone over here. I don't know why I'm that good with buys, but everyone has their own strength. I have a friend who is really good in taking sell positions and not good at all in taking buy positions. So we are like two people who need to help each other so that we can make like a lot of profits in the market. So yeah, so guys, let's see if this is going to play out. If it comes to this zone, maybe we can see like we'll be expecting maybe some movement or some resistance, or it might just drop to this zone over here. And that's why I drew this line. If you are here when we were starting, I drew this line because this was one of the zones where we saw some pullback, and this is one of the zones where we can see like a support, and this is the resistance. So let's wait and see. And you can see like this level pairs with some of the previous levels. If I can just draw that, so that I know these lines are too many, but one of my rules is that I always draw these lines not just for today but even for tomorrow, because they will help me analyze the chart so easily. The only thing I can do away with these lines over here, like this one, no, this one over here, this blue line, this one is just extra. Yeah, I've just removed it. This one too, I can remove it because I have these green trending lines with algo that can guide me. But then I just love it because it kind of helps me with a few things. So yeah, so guys, this is my prediction. I predict like a strong sell, not really that strong, but an intermediate or moderate sell. To quite these zones over here, I'll be looking out for this zone over here and this zone over here. If this plays out so perfectly and gets to this point, we'll be able to know if we are still on a selling market or a ranging market, on a trending market or a ranging market, or if we will be expecting some movement going upwards. And guys, trust me, when this market decides to move upwards, then trust me, we will be looking for some higher highs, I think, because it will prove that gold is not going down any soon. So we'll be taking more buys, and that will clearly indicate that the US dollar will be getting, the US dollar index will be getting weak if gold goes up, because these coins, they like, gold is always like a backup for the US dollar. So whenever US dollar is like really weak, you'll find that gold becomes stronger, because if you study economics or finance, or maybe if you study the currencies, the US dollar, you'll find that it is backed up with the with gold generally. So whenever US dollar is weak, gold becomes stronger. Whenever gold becomes weak, US dollar is stronger. So that is one thing you can think of. But then the same, I think, applies with other currencies. I don't know how it works perfectly. Let me check it. I think the same applies to like the currencies that are paired with the US dollar. Whenever the dollar index is stronger, those other coins will sell. But it depends, because these are other countries. They might come up with anything that will affect the US dollar, so they might not play out as gold. But then one thing I know about gold and the US dollar is that they are like, how do we call it in a layman's language? It's like you with your best friend when you're a friend, like you're stronger in one side and your friend is stronger on the other side, so you can kind of complement. Is it complement? Is that the word? Like they complement each other somehow, something of the sort. We don't really know the exact term to use, but that is just what it actually means. So with gold you can expect, maybe, unless the US dollar becomes stronger, we'll be having quite some sell for quite some time. But one thing about the US dollar is that if there is any fundamental news that kind of affects the dollar, then, or even affects the market will move to a certain direction. We'll see some corrections in the market, and then the market might decide to move towards the direction that it was initially moving. So let's say, what I'm trying to say is that let's say a news came out and there was a strong buy in the market for quite some time. The market will try to correct itself so that it can balance the currencies, and then it will proceed to move towards the direction that it was moving, that is moving upwards. So like if there was a strong news with a strong volatility, and maybe there was a strong sale, we'll see like a few corrections over here, and then it will proceed to its original state, which is selling. So that is one thing that I have noted about the market. So you can always try to analyze your chart, see if that is what really happens in the market, because for me that is one of the things that I have noticed that actually happens in the market. So for me right now, let's just go and look at it in a 5 minutes time frame, the way we thought, how we had planned. Whoa guys, so this is the problem with the ranging market. So remember I told you that ranging market you can play, but the only risky thing about it is you do not know whether it's going to break out of the range or if it's going to move upwards. And guys, you can see it broke out. So this is like the first candlestick. We cannot actually have like a strong indication that this is what's happening, but if this proceeds, like the second candlesticks keeps on moving up or downwards and doesn't go up, then we are moving down, guys. We are moving down. This shows like a strong breakout. So others will say that this is a double top, which kind of gives them that notion of like it's selling. So yeah, so if this one broke out of this point, this was going also to be a double top, a bottom top, wait, how do they call it? Bottom something, I've forgotten. Okay, let's see how this other candlestick is going to play out. So if you're just joining us, these lines over here, I know you are asking yourself, why is these lines different from the other one that we were viewing initially? This was one of the candlesticks that this is 5 minutes time frame, the other one is 1 day's time frame. So this was just to give a preview of those people who are trading like in 5 minutes time frame, what they can expect to happen in the market. And I clearly told them that ranging market is one of the best markets to trade in. It's one of the best markets to make profits in, but the only fear is that you never know when the market is going to break out from the ranging market. Remember, the market cannot just stay in a ranging market. It will at one point break out, either going downwards or going upwards. And when I was saying that, we are on the zone over here, and you can clearly see that the market came down to this point, and this point it did not bounce back as of this point. It didn't bounce back as of this zone over here. It went down, but then we are not that quick, because we can see like it might be a false breakout. So we are waiting to see what's going to happen with this candlestick, or maybe the third candlestick. Then we'll be sure that maybe gold is selling, or it has broken out of the ranging market. So you might wait to see another position where there will be a ranging market. So that is a 5 minutes time frame. You can keep on checking it out. For now, let me just finalize with a 1 hour's time frame, guys. Let's wait to see this zone over here. This was one of the top zones. Yeah, for this one. So this line over here really doesn't really has any impact, but it might have an impact based on this level, this zone over here. But then for the pattern that we have, I'll be looking out for this zone over here, because of this huge candlestick over here and this zone over here. If these candlesticks break out of these zones over here, then guys, clearly we'll be selling to around 1575 or 1580, around these zones, around this zone over here. If that plays out, I wish you the best. I hope you make a lot of profits while trading the market. Remember to manage your finances. Remember to use your stop losses. Remember to use your stop losses, take profits. Remember to analyze your charts before entering the market. Remember, everything that I've told you is not a signal, is just how I predict the market to play out. So for me, this is just my prediction of what might happen in the market. It's not really a signal, because trust me, if I told you that we are selling and then I see an opportunity but you stick to your sell, I might see an opportunity to buy and I'll take a buy position. So if you stick to your sell position, you might end up blowing up your account. So just be cautious while trading. This is not a signal. Analyze the charts perfectly. This is just an educative platform where I give you an overview of what the market might be. I am not like a financial advisor. I am just a forex trader trying to analyze the charts, trying to give out my perception of what the market might look like. So that is what I'm doing. So I wish you a profitable week. If at all I don't get time to analyze charts this week, then we'll call it a week, and maybe I'll be able to analyze the charts maybe over the weekends or maybe next week. And today just analyzed gold. So maybe if I get time to analyze other currencies, I will do so. So let's see how this plays out. Remember to be patient in the market, but not very patient. Remember to be smart in the market. Trade with caution. Use the stop losses and take profits. Our risk management is a good thing to key in. So yeah. So until next time, guys, I enjoy doing this with you guys. So make sure you subscribe if you're new to my YouTube channel. Help this channel grow, and we'll be able to grow every single day, and I'll be able to do more than what I'm actually doing. I always like analyzing gold because this is one of the currencies that most people fear, but I find it to be so interesting, and it's one of the currencies that most people can make profits out of. So yeah, so guys, until next time, I wish you a profitable week, a profitable day, a profitable life, literally. So until next time, guys, goodbye.